Hi, Aslo Recaps here. Today I'm going to explain science fiction monster film called Rampage. Before we get started, I challenge you. You have to click on subscribe and activate notification in less than 5 seconds. You got it? Alright, click the like button too and let's get started. After a lab rat mutates and causes chaos, Energine's Athena-1 space station is destroyed. Athena-1 is owned by Energine, a business that specializes in gene modification. After the station explodes, Carrie Atkins, the only crew member still alive, escapes in the escape pod along with virus canisters that Energine CEO Claire Wyden instructs her to retrieve. However, the pod disintegrates upon re-entry, killing her and sending a trail of debris across the United States. A crocodile from the United States ingests one canister in the Everglades, and a wolf exposed to the disease when it lands in a Wyoming woodland. The San Diego Wildlife Sanctuary employs former Special Forces soldier and anti-poaching team member Davis Okoye as a primatologist. He has developed a friendship with George, a rare albino western lowland gorilla, whom he saved from poachers who had killed his mother. George communicates with him using sign language. George gets exposed to the disease after one of the canisters lands in his habitat by accident. Dr. Kate Caldwell, a genetic engineer, gets in touch with Davis as George develops into a far larger and more violent creature. She says that the infection was created by Energine to massively rewrite genes. She had planned to further research on CRISPR as a potential treatment for diseases, but she learned about Energine's plans to use it as a biological weapon and was wrongfully imprisoned, which resulted in the death of her dying brother. George breaks free from his captors and starts terrorizing the wildlife reserve. After calming down, George is shortly apprehended by a government team led by Agent Harvey Russell and taken aboard a Boeing C-17 Globemaster III. A mercenary team's mission to capture the mutant wolf Ralph is being overseen by Claire and her brother Brett. But the plan goes wrong, and the team is decimated. Unconcerned with the grave danger this poses to civilian lives, Claire uses a large transmitter atop the Willis Tower to entice the animals to Chicago in order to catch Ralph and use George as cover for her scheme. Davis, Kate, and Russell parachute to safety while George retaliates aggressively to the sound and crashes the aircraft. Russell helps Davis and Kate steal a military chopper as they are being pursued by Davis and Kate. George survives the crash and travels to Chicago with Ralph and Davis. While the military tries to confine George and Ralph when they arrive, they are seen running amok throughout the city. When Lizzie, a mutated crocodile, joins the pair, the situation worsens and more people are killed. Davis and Kate sneak into Energine's base of operations at the tower with the intention of stealing an antidote that would restore the animals to normal. However, the Wydens catch them as Claire reveals that the antidote only reduces the animals' increased aggressiveness rather than reversing the other effects. Davis is shot, but he survives. Claire gives Davis the order to divert attention as George ascends the tower so she can flee with Kate while being held at gunpoint. Claire is pushed toward George by Kate as she smears a vial inside her bag. George then ingests the terrorist and the bottle, returning to his normal self. Russell steals Brett's evidence while Brett is being crushed to death by falling debris down below. Davis and Kate manage to survive as the damaged skyscraper collapses by crashing landing a chopper on the Federal Plaza. Russell and Kate rush to stop the military from using a Moab against them while Davis stays behind to assist George in defeating the other creatures. Ralph fights George, who Davis baits into moving closer to Lizzie, who then uses her jaws to decapitate him. Davis is being pursued by Lizzie, but George steps in just in time for Davis to use grenades to take her out. George, who is impaled by a rebar, is still alive and is defeated by Lizzie. Davis uses a downed Apache assault chopper to divert Lizzie, but is almost killed before George uses the same rebar to murder Lizzie by puncturing her eye. The airstrike is terminated after the threat has been removed. Following the incident, George and Davis work with Kate and Russell to rid the city of trash and rescue residents. And that was how the movie ended.